The three, it did give a little nudge. The referee was onto it very quickly.
It was 2 against 1 in there, wasn't it, against the Mallorcan defender. Here's Ibagaza, and Danny's down the centre, and Biagini! Blocked off a little bit, perhaps. Referee says nothing.
It was a good break again. Danny unselfishly trying to knock it back into Biagini, and I have to say, Marco Gianni has got caught no man's land, and a little lob over for him would have floated into the empty net. Neither the keeper have been convincing calling to defenders or making the right decision.
Do you think Danny would do well in England?
I think he's done very well this evening, and I think his willingness to work and run would mean that he could adapt to the English game. Yes, I think he's the sort of continental player that would settle in fine.
But I was told last night nothing definite has been decided about his future. Here's Stankovic. Oh, free kick. One thing about Danny is he's so mobile. He's constantly looking to shake defenders off. Here he is again. Biagini. Three on that side, that's Stankovic. Back to Biagini. Danny now moves central. And here's Pavel Nedved for LAZIO on the left. Salas in the centre with Vieri. They're just checking their runs now. This is Almeida. And now it's Mancini. And on the far side, Pancaro again. To Stankovic. That's a very good cross, and the goalkeeper's coming out. Hasn't made it. It's Nedved for LAZIO. Took his time, found Salas. Laid back to Mancini. They're going the long way round. Pancaro again. Wonder if Nedved should have hit that earlier. Here he is again. Cavalli. And that's a bad cross. Should Nedved have had a pot at that earlier on?
Well, 2 of them should have done. I mean, Roa again just flapped at the ball. They were very indecisive. Came out to Nedved, and it was on his left foot. If he'd have clipped it early, he would have actually got the goalkeeper in trouble. But what he did, he tried to get it on his right foot, then he was closed down. He knocked it, then went into Salas, who again then didn't have a shot and tried to square it. Both on their weaker foot didn't take responsibility.
I'm not convinced by Roa so far tonight. He's been very, very uncertain on the cross ball. And doesn't seem to like the presence in there of Vieri and Salas. And there they are again, the front two, making their runs. This is Marcelino, across to Miguel Soler. Danny. Oh, what a lovely little turn. That's really skillful play. He's turning it on tonight, the number 9. This is Olazola. That's a clumsy challenge by Nedved. The referee hasn't given a free kick, to the amazement of Olazola, and I must say to mine as well. Here's Mancini. Vieri's out right. Salas here. Mancini doesn't tend to slow the game down. Here's Pancaro trying to speed it up again. Salas. That's a free kick to LAZIO. Foul by Ngonga. On Salas.
I'm not surprised. Mallorca is saying, well, how was that a free kick and not when Olazola was brought down by Nedved? That's the second time for skipper of Mallorca hasn't got a free kick and he's had to chase back.
Well, I've seen Mihailovic hit them from here in Italy, number 11. And I think, well, I was going to say Mallorca must be aware of it. Yes, they're going to form a little wall there. 2 men anyway. 4 Italian players press onto the penalty spot.
I think the way Roa's been performing so far, I'd definitely have a shot.
Well, he's got a very good left foot, Mihailovic, but that's come off one of the 2 players in the wall. There's Vieri. And here's Nedved. Oh, look like a handball there. Well, Referee says carry on. Again, some uncertainty in the Spanish defence.
Mallorca got themselves in a bit of a problem with the free kick because they charged out trying to play the offside, and that's when they're both appealing. It's gone off the elbow there, definitely of Olaizola, who was appealing for, he thought, a handball against LAZIO.
I thought he was lucky not to concede a penalty, but I suppose it was ball to hand, was it? Here's Mihailovic. Oh, look at Mihailovic has given the free kick away initially, gets it back. We'll have a big game at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome at the weekend when Lazio complete their Serie A programme, still hoping to win the championship, the Scudetto. Haven't won it for 25 years. Mallorca just thrilled to be second in Spain at the moment, and all that goes with it. A little touch from Salas, but here's Marcelino. Forward by Pancaro, handball Vieira. A deliberate handball, yellow card.
It's probably a pure, I'm a bit concussed, ref, after the knock there, but that was so silly, wasn't it? It was so blatant, it wasn't that well camouflaged, and that is a standard yellow card.
Neither side had any players missing this final with suspension, incidentally, largely because the bookings were wiped out before the quarter-final stage and restarted. Here's Severo with the free kick. Miguel Soler to Danny. And here's Biagini. Slorin in the middle, he's the only one who was there. This is Engonga for Mallorca. Good block by Mihailovic. That might mean a Lazio break here if Mancini moves the ball on quickly. Oh dear, he's not had the best of halves, Mancini, has he?
Well, I must say, I'd be tempted to substitute him. Whether he's just not happy in that position or looks lethargic and leggy and not fully fit, he's got too good, somebody like Lombardo or De La Peña on, who could both play in midfield, and I think move the ball forward much quicker. Mancini's sort of strolling around, and as soon as they get a chance to counter-attack, by the time he knocks it forward, Real Mallorca work so hard they get back.
Yes, as you say, he's got options on the bench, hasn't he, Ericsson? He's also got Conceição, the Portuguese player there, if he wants to use him, who's been in the team quite recently, as indeed has Lombardo, who has made a spectacular renaissance, hasn't he, Attilio Lombardo, having been player-manager of Crystal Palace this time last year. Went back to Italy at the turn of the year, scored in his first 2 games for Lazio, and although he's only on the bench tonight, it's quite a comeback.
Not something he would have predicted when he was manager of Crystal Palace.
Ibergaza for Mallorca. 5 minutes left in the first half. Pancaro. There have been enough defensive mistakes to make you think there are more goals to come. Here's Engonga. Nedved. Almeida. Favali. Nedved goes again. Oh, penalised. Referee said he fouled Lauren.
Just a little nudge in the back. Lauren worked quite hard. It didn't look too much, did it? And then he's lost his ground, rolled over and looked for it. And the replay looks a bit harsh.
Lauren was the player who came on for the Cameroon against Chile in the World Cup as a substitute and was sent off 6 minutes later. But he kept quite cool there. This is Favali. The looking for Vieri. Little shove in the back. Oh, he turned magnificently, Vieri, but a good recovery by Marcelino. Quite a contest between those two. Mihailovic. Nedved. Almeida. Mancini. On again. Pancaro. Soler. And Nesta comes across. 23 years old, the captain of Lazio, one of the best players in Italy. Almeida. This is Roberto Mancini again. And now Mihailovic. Starting it off from the back. Vieri's made a run off his marker here. Oh, and he's made a mess of it. And Loren got it from him. Ngonga played it through to Danny, and this is Biagini.